One of the difficulties I've realized that I've had to deal with ever since I've started to move in a more individualistic way, or cater more towards my artistic or creative desires, and to pursue those things, is the constant attempts by the world and by people to box me in a sense. When I say box me in, I don't mean that it's inherently like people are doing things negatively to try to get to me, but it's just a constant like pushback, or maybe you can call it a pull from the world to just do this, to just do that, to think of things in a certain type of way, black and white. And it's difficult trying to sift through all of it, and to make sure that, and to stay firm on what it is that I'm going for. A big emphasis is that once again, not all of these pulls are necessarily or inherently rooting from a negative space from people, but from people that are genuinely concerned. If I tell someone that I am going to pursue something in a creative world or realm, you start hearing things like, oh, like, are you gonna do college though? Are you gonna get a job? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that those are bad things at all. Those are realistic considerations, but it can just get into your head like, damn, maybe I should just do this, maybe I should do that. You start showing your art, open up the room for like critiques of other people, for other people's opinions. There's been people that have tried to tell me that I need to do this, or art should do this, art should be like this, art should feel like this, or whatever the case may be. And it can be difficult hearing all that and trying to grasp it. It takes a lot of energy to seriously consider everyone else's opinions. Because at least that's how I go about it. I don't try to move in a way that, I just ignore everybody. I do try to consider what people say. Maybe there's some truth in it that I'm just not aware of yet. And it takes a lot of energy, and it sometimes feels easier to just give in, like, oh, they're right, fuck it, I'm gonna just do this and that. And I don't think that's the right answer. If you are gonna change anything, it should root from a very deep place that you truly believe in whatever it is that you're changing, you know what I'm saying? And I think ultimately I've said all that to say, this is for myself and I guess for other people, is that the remedy to all of this is great introspection, to know your introspection. I think that's the word, right? Ultimately, to know yourself on such a deep and intimate level that you're not easily pushed around, that not every opinion is getting to you on such a deep level. You are able to, it makes it easier to sift through a lot of the BS. And I think people say that it's important to know yourself a lot, it's like, what does that mean? At least what I'm talking about in regards to this is just knowing your intentions, knowing your goals, knowing what drives you, the motivations, knowing the morality behind X, Y, and Z, things of that nature. Way that you find that is just by sitting sometime, dealing with silence, just writing, reflecting on conversations, reflecting on everything, paying attention to what catches your attention. That could be pointing you in the right direction, paying attention to how you feel about stuff. It could be your body or higher something trying to tell you something. It's almost so much that a lot of people don't want to do those necessary things, and the people that don't end up taking the time to be nurturing to themselves, you can almost see it. Some things they may lack the ability to explain themselves. They may lack the ability to almost put out like their art may lack a certain degree of depth. It may be some things that aren't consistent. And it's because they are refusing to go to the extra mile. They don't know why they're doing stuff. They don't know what they were really feeling. They're just kind of winging it. And sometimes that is the right answer. Sometimes you just gotta wing it. Not everything has to be so in depth and whatnot. I guess a way I can say this is, I've said this in a previous video, a tree can't grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. And that whatever, however you choose to interpret that, there's a lot of ways you can, but that internal work, I see it as those roots. I am kind of all over the place in this video. I feel like my mind is just everywhere, but I felt as though I had to get the thought out. So shit, here I am. Once again, a big part of even this YouTube channel was to make it raw. It's going to be good. I think it's good to get away from some of the extra curated content. I think it's going to be good for, look, I'm a little delusional. I have plans for this to someday blow up this channel, or me, myself, the brand, whatever the fuck it is. And so I think it'll be healthy for people to be able to look back and see where we started, me, Trey, Dom, and if anybody else joined, to see the beginning of it, that this shit was raw, that I didn't write a fucking script before. Once again, I said all that to say that this is part of the trust. There are some people that'll tell you, you need to write a script, you need to practice the video, you need to rehearse it 5 times before you, yada, yada, yada. But I am in tune with myself, my intentions, the goals, my plans. I am foreseeing shit in the future and how I want it to look like. I know how I want people in the future to look back at this. You know what I'm saying? Like, point is, you gotta trust yourself and trust, if you are religious or spiritual, trust whatever the divine has in store for you. If someone's, and be wary of other people's like recommendations or advice. You know, they may be telling you something that was meant for them. So it may sound good, like, oh, that's some wisdom right there. It may be wisdom for them. It may be what keeps them aligned, but it may not be inherently meant for you. So take that time to think about, just think. You know what I'm saying? Take the time to be introspective, reflect.